Yeah, I put Venkat in waiting room because he was not listening. Done. Yeah. You're seeing my screen shared, right? Yeah. Okay. So on a simpler note, on to the point, to the dot, we saw storage, we saw managed disk creation, we saw unmanaged disk creation, we saw managed disk expansion, we also saw unmanaged disk expansion, we saw adding a disk in managed disk, we saw adding a disk in unmanaged disk. Except Linux systems, we finished on Windows systems. So I would not want to do Linux systems immediately, because unless and until this lab is not finished, sir, I know that you have been waiting for lab. Monday morning, we are starting the lab. Please excuse us, because it was supposed to start on Thursday, but it will start from Monday. You're good with it? Yeah, in the sense how the lab system will be, because what's the point if I keep going and telling, sir, and you're not doing hands-on, would not make sense. So definitely Monday morning onwards, we will have lab trackers and everything. The admin team is not available, so hence we could not achieve it this week.
So KD, it is a different timeline when we have to attend the lab around.
So actually, it's comfort zone of yours. There are two options. One is that we will have a lab coordinator who will be integrating with you. We have all the lab scenarios. They will either call you or message you, whichever works best between, because there are some people from outside country also. So if I told them to message more. So it is something like you have to finish that lab. Either you do it on your own, at your own convenience. Videos will be available. If you're facing any issues, they will jump into a lab session with you. Let's say Rafi has a challenge right now. He's doing the lab and there are some challenges. Quickly, he will connect with them, and they will also be in it's a Google Meetup that we use for labs. So join there, see through. If even the lab coordinator is not able to assist and solve that issue, quickly I'll be logging in. They'll call me and I'll join that lab session. So that's how it goes. So it's totally your convenience whenever you would want to do it. But if lab, along with the lab person, if we were planning to do, then it will be morning before evening 6:30 p.m. IST.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll announce that shortly. We'll talk about that. Okay, there you go. Now let me put the background so it doesn't distract you all. Just give me a minute, sir.
I think it is on the top of your camera only. Even there is a triple dot and you can blur it off. Mute and unmute.
Which one? Sorry.
On the
I'm using
host, right?
An additional external camera. So just a second.
Even if you use background KD, you cannot hide humans.
No, we can. Once it is blurry, it will be hidden.
No, what did you say now? I'm sorry. What was the technique you said? Shortcut?
Once you click on your photo, right? What are the videos coming? There's a triple dots on that.
No, I think your view and my view are different.
I think host view is different.
No, I didn't see that. I don't have that.
Okay, I did not see from this is my. I have not joined as a host in Zoom, so I don't know.
Okay, my view is totally different. So actually, maybe I should see once what you guys look at, how your view is. Okay, I think good. So now I have blurred the background, so you're not distracted. Okay, done. So storage, we are talking. Managed disk, unmanaged disk, we are doing. Before we jump into blob, file, queue, table conversations, we'll go there. By the way, the sessions are updated, sir. Did you get a chance to see?
Sorry, KD, I was a little bit busy this week. Saturday,
I already uploaded sessions till yesterday. Yesterday itself, I have done it immediately after the class. What I'm doing now is immediately after class, I'm uploading stuff. So you'll have the time to review it later. I think Raghu and you all guys don't have access to it yet. I will ensure that I'll get it done.
I think Veera was left over. KD.
Veera can access now.
Okay.
Even my side also, KD. Rakesh.
No, you are in the WhatsApp group, right, Rakesh, first of all?
No, I have not been added.
Oh, okay, then. Yes, I think you joined a little late, right? Okay, we'll do it, Rakesh. Let's connect after the class. Okay, done. So I'm on the storage now. We are talking about disks now. To continue yesterday's conversation. So to continue on yesterday's conversation, one thing we have to talk about is the Azure disk types Of course, managed disk type. We recommend managed disks only to customers mostly. Let's spend a few minutes on this one. Yesterday, we could not complete the conversation. Today, we will complete it. I want you all to observe a few things, please. Let's start with HDD. So for HDD, you only have IOPS. Anybody got a chance, by any chance, to read about throughput and IOPS? Okay. On video or something on YouTube? No? Okay. So I said this yesterday. I'm saying it again now. If you technically look at IOPS, IOPS are nothing but per second, how many transactions you can do to the disk. It can be a read operation, it can be a write operation. Per second, how many transactions you can do to a disk. And so yesterday also I was talking about, right? Every disk has got, every hard disk has got disk rotations, right? 7,200 RPM, 5,400 RPM. So RPM is what's the rotations per minute. I'm talking about not SSDs, HDDs. HDDs have a disk inside. So 5,400 is the old RPMs for hard disk. It's slow. 7,200 is the faster rotations per minute. Nowadays, you can look at it, sir. 15,000 rotations per minute also disks have come, 15,400 or something like that. So rotations per minute will decide the performance of the disk accordingly. I'm talking about hard disk. When it comes to IOPS, per second, how many read operations, how many write operations, or you don't call it as read and write, sir. You should rather call it as transaction. So per second, how many transactions you can do is all about IOPS. So believe me, if you go and watch some YouTube videos, right, sir, IOPS will blow your mind. It's a huge in-depth concept, but we don't need at that level. We don't need at that level. At least IOPS means per second or 1,000 milliseconds, as you can see. How much is the with what speed you can read the data? How many transactions you can do the data with not speed? Speed means throughput. So with how much data you're able to read talks about throughput. So look at this. Again, benchmarking. I'm sure you know this tool. So there are so many tools with which you can do benchmark testing. What is that famous tool? Vijay, are you aware? My mind is blank right now. Disk performance tools.
That is EDS is there. And,
Crystal disk marks. It's here. So everyone, if you want to check the disk performance of your hard disk, you can download a tool called Crystal Disk Mark. I was just thinking it was out of my mind. Now here you go. So this is a tool. Just download this tool, install the software in your system. Be cautious when downloading. Download the right tool, sir. Free tool only. Free tool only. I'll not click on any of this. Just a minute. Where is the download option? Yeah, sir. This is how the tool looks like. It will tell you two things, sir. If you want IOPS, it will give you IOPS story. If you want throughput, it will give you throughput story. So you can check your disk performance. It's a Chinese. I think it's made. That's why I'm not downloading right now. So you got my point, right, sir? This is an ad. So
Yes.
Yes, KD.
Crystal Disk Mark is a tool with which you can evaluate and see what's the disk performance you are getting. There's a download option. I'll uninstall it, sir, but I'll quickly.
I think there is a portable KD. Should be there.
1 second.
Sorry, but that was 6 years back.
We'll go for a standard edition, or I can no. Let me not install this one, sir. Not concerned. So IOPS tells you per second how many transactions you can do. Throughput tells you per second how much data you can read, how much data you can write. If everybody are clear with this, I'll not waste time on this one anymore. Because these are the only two parameters based on which disk performance is measured. IOPS and throughput. Any questions anybody have? If not, I'll move on. Others, sir? People on video, I can see your expressions. Others? Okay, done. Chalo. Done, sir. So for standard HDD, there's nothing great to talk, but sir, for standard SSD, we have things to talk. So first and foremost thing is size is how much? Fine. IOPS are how much? Fine. Throughput is how much? Fine. So these three parameters are fundamental. Fundamental. What we need to talk now is what is max burst? Bursting concept. So yesterday I gave a clue anyways to all of you. I said that nitric oxide for a car or a bike can really enhance the performance for short time. So I think another example also we can talk. Recently you would have seen Tamil Vikram movie. What Mr. Vijay Sethupathi has, I don't know if you have not watched the movie, it's still okay. But if you have watched the movie, that enhancement he takes, the drug, boosts the performance like anything. And that's for a shorter duration. So same thing, bursting is what you're going to do to the disk for a while, and that enhances the performance. And again, that's a short term. Sorry?
Torque for vehicles.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
It's a torque KD, like vehicles, torque power. So
Torque, yeah, sir, exactly. So now let's talk about bursting. Oops. Let's talk about bursting disk in Azure. Just a minute, sir. Disk bursting. Yeah. So disk bursting itself is a big concept. Be very, very careful when recommending disk bursting to anyone, especially in the Azure space. Sometimes you may overkill it, sir. Sometimes you will think something and the results are something. So that's first of all, sir, proper understanding is very, very important for disk bursting. So what we will do, we will go through some scenarios, sir. To what level we can recommend. So this will take some time. That's why I'm saying. So let's chill and understand this concept, sir. So what are the different options available? Let's go start, sir. First of all, so Microsoft is offering disk bursting option only for standard SSD,
Premium
SSD. Ultra is anyways a super fast disks, however. So mainly it will benefit your standard SSD and premium SSD. So before again further continuing, if you can see, S series means what, sir? HDD. E series means what?
premium.
Standard SSD. P series are premium SSD. So this thing we have to mug up in our mind first. S series.
Standard HDD.
Yeah. So if you can see, sir, standard HDD. S1, S4, S6, S10, all are standard HDD. And then, sir, E series are nothing but your standard SSD. P series are nothing but your premium SSD. So ultra SSD you can leave, sir, because it's not supported in most of the regions. So you can ignore for now. So E series and P series is where bursting would be supported. Okay, done. Now moving on, sir. If you can see, I'll come to the point. Normally, why do you want bursting? Sir, with bursting, your instance will start up. Instance means your VM or anything that you're putting inside a VM will start up at a faster rate. Agreed. For example, default OS disk, meaning C drive for premium enabled VMs, is a P4 disk. Sir. P4 means? Okay, it's tough to remember. So P4 means?
Premium.
Premium.
Premium. P4 is how much size, sir?
32
GB. 32 GB. So, okay, now, which is a provisioned performance of up to 120 IOPS. You only see, sir, it has 120 IOPS, for example, and 25 MB per second is the throughput. That's the disk performance of P4. So what they are saying is, with bursting, P4 can go up to 3,500 IOPS. Sir. So where is 120 IOPS and where is 3,500 IOPS? So that is the power of bursting, sir. And 25 MB per second throughput can hit up to 170. Sir, if this is for the which situation, sir? For P4, cheaper disks. Now imagine, same you're applying on bigger disks, it can go even more. So approximately Microsoft says up to 6x times. 6 times you're going to boost the performance of the disk. So I'm not going to read only from this content, sir. I'm just telling you for a quick idea. We are here. No, I'll not waste time. So when do you always use bursting? No. So sometimes, right, in your company, the bursting works out at short periods, definitely not longer periods. So what is your peak hours, right? Let's say for in Vishwas organization, for some XYZ virtual machines, morning 9 o'clock to 9:45 is the peak hour, like, peak hour for that server. So then you can think of bursting at that time. So some application workloads are cyclic in nature. They require a baseline performance most of the time, meaning, sir, they require specific performance at specific timelines. So, and that too for a shorter period of time. And then in that case, bursting can be a good option. Don't use bursting always. Can I move on? And so one more thing, sir. Web servers, right? Especially when traffic is high on a web server, whenever traffic is high, at that time, again, you can take the advantage of disk bursting. So they are giving 3 scenarios. Whenever your machine starts, startup time, you can use bursting if you want. And then, sir, jobs which are running some XYZ timelines, you can use it. Or whenever there's a load on the system, you can use bursting in those scenarios. Okay. So done. So now again, let's talk about, so mainly there are 2 disk types, premium SSD and standard SSD. We already talked that support bursting. And there are 2 types of bursting, sir. On-demand bursting and credit-based. On demand, whenever there is demand, you want to burst it, and purely credit-based, second option. Credit means in Azure, you have credits, by the way. Okay, Azure credits, we still did not discuss, I think. We will talk, sir. So, okay, fine. This chart is sufficient. So we're not spending more time on this and wasting. But this, if you want to see a demo of disk bursting, I can do. But we will do at the right time. So quickly see, sir. Credit-based bursting.
So on demand, it is billing charge.
Correct. So just a minute. वैसे दिखेगा क्या? नहीं, वो सबने के बाद ठीक है। इधर साइड में थोड़ा ऐसा ही दिखेगा। तो कर सकते हैं तो उनको तो उसको पूरा बंद करते हैं वो तो नहीं पूरा वहीं पे पूरा शेप नहीं वो करेंगे तो वो टूट के आ जाएगा। ठीक मैं उसको चाहिए मैसेज। Thank you. Sorry, sir. I'm back. I'm back. The person left. Yeah. So there are two. I'm sure you're reading by the slide by now, the screen by now. So there are two types of bursting. One is a credit-based bursting for sure, and second one is on-demand bursting. So you prefer to do any style is okay. It's completely up to the requirement. So one second, sir. An on-demand bursting model where the disk bursts whenever it needs excess capacity. So, for example, there's a virtual machine. In the virtual machine, you install one software. The software is using the disk, sir. Suddenly, the disk utilization increased. Any software. It can be database, it can be application server, it can be web server, anything. Any software that you put is using the disk, sir. Suddenly, the disk utilization increased. So, this model incurs additional charges anytime the disk bursts. So for example, sir, disk bursting can occur anytime, depending on, as I said, on demand, right? There are two options, sir. On demand, second one is credit based. On demand, whenever there is demand, bursting will happen. So, okay. So again, let's talk like this. Right now, IOPS are IOPS for a virtual machine. There's a virtual machine, there is a disk in it. Current IOPS are 120. Capacity is 120. So IOPS of the virtual machine that we are discussing now, for example, is P4 disk. Same example. 120 is the max IOPS. Right now, meaning 120 transactions per second can happen. Right now, so 10 transactions only are happening. That means you have not utilized the total 120 capacity. So you are 10, 20 transactions also fine, 30 is also fine, 50 is also fine, 80 is also fine, 100 is also fine. The moment you touch 110, then you touch 120, sir, then it will see, oh, okay, this guy's demand is increasing now. Now on demand, right, sir? The moment you touch that 120 mark, it will see that, okay, this guy is using disk now, let me burst it. So, but you have to define, so you have to tell that I want disk bursting. Now your question, right, where to enable, where to see all that, we will do in the demo part, please wait. But sir, the disk bursting will mainly happen when on demand, if you want. And sir, please read, on demand bursting is only available for premium SSDs, that too greater than 512. So the example which I told now for P40 120, on demand disk bursting is not possible.
We should
Premium,
try up to P20.
Only, yes, exactly. It will be possible only from P20 onwards. P20 disk 2, P20, P30, P40, P60, P70, and the last one being P80. So P20 to P80 only for these disks bursting is possible. Sorry, not bursting. On-demand bursting is possible. Okay, next one, sir. Any questions? By the way, even if you do on-demand bursting, sir, look at this. You already have 2,300 IOPS. You already have 5,000, 8,000, 7,500, 16,000, 18,000, 20,000. So you'll get even more. Now the question is, two questions should come up. So how much I will get? If I do disk bursting, how much IOPS I will get extra?
6x.
Into 6 times. Do the math, sir. Okay, up to 6 times. They don't claim. So 6 means not exactly 6 times you will get, up to 6 times, up to. Because that also depends on the load on that disk at that time, sir. So guaranteed into 6 you will not get, but Microsoft claims that up to 6 times we will give you the calculates. I mean, into 6 you can do the math quickly. 20,000 means someone, that's easy math. 1.2 lakh, 1,20,000 IOPS is what you're going to get, approximately, not exactly. Sir. Any questions, please? Okay, done. So second one, a credit-based bursting model where the disk will burst only if the burst credits accumulated in its credit bucket. That means, sir, you will have a bucket allocated for you. The bucket must fill, sir. Once the bucket fills, that means you have the enough credits needed to use to burst again. Once you burst it, again the bucket must fill. Wonderla or all the theme parks, there's a water bucket. I love this one, so I'm sure you also love it. Bucket fills, then you stand there, the bucket leans and the water falls on you. Again, the bucket fills, kids will have a lot of fun, elders also. So this is purely a credit accumulation model. First, credits must accumulate. What is credit? We will talk. Credits must accumulate. Once you have X amount of credits available, sir, then the bursting will happen whenever the demand occurs. Without credits, no bursting. So I'm sorry, the talking in theory is always not so comfortable. I know the demos can make it interesting. I completely understand, but just let's go with the theory at the moment. I will show demo. And again, sir, credit-based bursting is only available for premium SSD managed disk, 512 GB and smaller. Got it, sir? So quickly, 512 GB and smaller, you will get credit-based models. And even the more than 512 GB and above, you will always get the on-demand. You have on-demand model. That's also. So meaning for lower disks, they have given credit model. For larger disks, they have given on-demand model. And even in standard SSDs, sir, 1 TB and smaller disks, it is possible, even in standard SSD. So that's it, sir. And now, okay. So this one picture, this one segregation is what we have to understand. Chart is what we have to understand. Then we can go. So first of all, the good news is credit-based bursting cost is there's no extra billing. The only thing is your credits must accumulate. So it would not be a great real booster like things, sir. Definitely not. Meaning you have that credits, then you can use it. So per month, they'll give you some X credits. Still you do not get right. For bursting, they'll give you some X amount of credits. So let's say I'm Microsoft. Shiva Swami is my valuable customer. Okay. So for Shiva, I'm telling you that, hey, monthly basis, Shiva, I'll give you disk credits of 2,000. Example, I'm saying. It's because I with an appreciation of our bonding, our relationship, I'm giving you 2,000 credits. So that 2,000 credits you can use only for bursting purpose. So that credits finish, sir, then you can't do the bursting like that.
Deepak, one question. Can we use on-demand and other bursting at a time for that particular one
Definitely
P20?
no scope. Definitely no scope, because if you notice, this is for lower disks, they have given the credit option. For higher disks, they have given on-demand model. So definitely not.
But for one particular model, I think if
512.
you look at 512 GB one, we have both the options available, right?
So 512 GB stands as an exception, but I need to double check, sir. But because mostly lower disks and higher disk is the segregation. So I agree with you, because I have that thought through.
But KD, they are not put as in the below chat. They are put as on demand is only after 512, more
Above.
than 512.
But sir, in the above sentence, there is a contradiction as well. Give me a minute. Tidik, we saw this here.
Yeah, premium
Larger
SSD
than, right? No, then
larger than.
no, sorry, sir. I mean, I read it as from 512. So 512 and above, I think we don't have a common category, Ravi.
Yeah, got you.
Sir, no, let's go fast. Say enough. We will not waste more time on this one. But sir, you understood what is two types of bursting that we have. Credit-based bursting, where you get some credits and use those credits for bursting purpose. That's for lower sizes disks. On-demand bursting is for the higher sizes disks greater than 512 GB, especially for premium SSD only, and not for anywhere else. Into 6x times you can expect your bursting to happen. But again, there's no benchmark that into 6 times you will get for sure. Definitely not. It varies. It totally varies. Okay. So any questions anybody have at the moment on the screen where we are standing? If not, 1 minute, please. So credit-based bursting is ideal for short durations, meaning you want to burst at a specific shorter durations, 30 minutes or less. And so on-demand bursting is ideal for scaling, because you have a requirement, no time restriction. If your demand is more, so you can scale, you can add more performance, and but cost also will be higher, please note. Okay, sir. Ideal if your workload would otherwise, this is okay, sir. This is fine. Sir, did you notice what is the third point here?
Changing performance.
Okay, changing tire. So what you can do, if I am in P40, I can always upgrade to P80. Can I show you that demo? At least, sir, bursting demo I'll show again. At least changing tire demo shall I show? Let's go to a virtual machine, sir. I think I removed our virtual machines. I'm sorry. Or let me pick an existing virtual machine I have. Today morning I built one. Yeah, here we go. So in this virtual machine, or in the other virtual machines that we have, if I go to disks, bear with me, sir, just a minute. Yeah, let me add a disk if it's okay. Disk 1 premium I'm giving. I'll add 500. No, not 500 GB. Done, sir. I save it. I'll save it. Disk is added. So can I 500 GB means which disk would this be? I'm in premium SSD. 500 GB.
Credit-based model.
Just now we discussed 500 GB. So 500 is less than 512, right, sir?
Credit-based model.
No. We're not talking bursting at all. My question is, I've given 500 GB for the disk.
It is below P20.
So
P3.
You only check, sir. 1 second. Let us go to the disk now. On the left hand side, we have size and performance. If you can see, though you have given 500 GB, sir, you are not in a look at this, P20, 512 GB. So you have come to the, though you mentioned 500 GB, but it had rounded off to 512 nearby. So it picked P20 only. Okay, then P20 disk we have now. Sir, any time you can upgrade from a P20 to P80. Or any time you can downgrade to P40, P30 also. Sir, 9 o'clock I have a requirement. Sir, 9 o'clock I have a requirement. Sir, I am in which disk now?
P20.
P20. So size will be P20. Size I will keep P20 only, sir. I will not change anything. Size will be P20 itself, but I can choose a performance tier. Meaning, though it will be a P20 disk, sir, it will perform like a P50. And I can save it. But it will charge, it will cost you, sir. It will cost you like anything, massive.
So this is called bursting.
This is actually not bursting. This is changing
Okay.
the performance tier. So
Okay, so we are changing the IOS and the throughput of the hard drive.
exactly. So we are changing the IOPS and throughput of the hard disk by changing the disk tier. So still it will be a P20 disk only, but performing like a P50 disk. That is nothing but performance tier options. So please read there. So your performance will be boosted, and now you are paying for what? P50.
P20.
P50. No, because you're using IOPS and throughput, right, sir? So you're paying for P50. You are standing in P20, but paying for P50. That because you changed the performance tier. If you keep performance tier P20 and save it, sir, you are in the P20 performance tier. So 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I have a requirement, sir. I want full performance at that time. So 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I can run a PowerShell script, which will automatically go and change my before I run a job or some activity, right, in the VM. 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I can change my disk tier performance to X to Y.
Okay, then at the time only we will take P50.
At that time only, it will behave like P50. That is one option, sir. Or second one is bursting. So we have to compare, right? If I stay in P50, what will be the cost? If I do bursting, what will be the cost? If you can compare whatever is feasible for you, go for it. So the total 3 options we are talking about. One is
On demand.
changing the performance tier for better performance, to get better performance. Though you are a P20 disk, you'll be getting a performance of a P50 disk, but you're paying for P50 cost charges accordingly. Also, look at the chart now. Look at the chart now. So ideal if your workload would otherwise continue to be running in burst. So meaning my workload, so 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock to 1 p.m. I want that consistent performance. Consistently. On off is not there. Then go for changing performance tier option. So short-term scaling. So between on-demand and changing performance tier, almost the same. Almost the same. Here you are bursting. Here you are changing tier. That's it. In bursting into 6 times is what you will get. Here, what is it, sir? In the performance tier, 2300 is 7500, right? Restrictive. Meaning how much times, please? Into
3 times.
3 times. Into 3. So bursting will give you into 6 also.
Timeline also changed, Deepak. In that bursting, hardly we can utilize for 30 minutes, but here we can utilize for
correct. So there are no, sir. Disk for disk bursting, right? On-demand bursting, there is no time demand. You're talking about timelines. 30 minutes is for credit-based.
Okay.
So for on-demand bursting, there is no timeline. You can keep it for again. So end of the day, one thing, please. You want to change disk tier, performance tier, your choice. Or you want to do on-demand bursting, your choice. But look at the costs, how much it is going to cost you. That also I'll show you how to see. But we'll hold off. We'll hold on for a second here. Any questions anybody have, sir? 3 options we are talking. In 3, credit-based is for lower sizes disks. On-demand is for higher sizes disks.
So credit is like a voucher, and the Microsoft gives us voucher. It gets utilized there.
Correct. So credit is totally free, sir. So
Free.
they give you this many credits on a monthly basis or whatever your billing model is. That credits you will consume, and that's it.
Yeah, and on demand is like we put a what do you call, condition of if it goes to threshold and it gets the bursting. Correct.
Perfect. So on demand, again, on demand, better keep it for too long duration. On demand is not a recommended option, because let's say you want for half day, or you want for even longer duration, or you want for entire week. Bursting, so
Will be costly.
Can land up definitely expensive. So the tier is better because you want for a longer duration, and continuously load is there. So now please, load means, now don't worry what is that load, sir. It can be application load, it can be database load, it can be web server load. Why should we worry, right? You delivered the server to Windows team, application teams, database teams, web teams. Let them play with it, no? The purpose of you giving VM is for them to play, right? So they are putting more load on the system and they're asking you as a recommendation, hey, Mayank, give me some performance recommendations. Mayank, what can we do? What can we do to improve performance? Then in that case, you can give this answer, sir. Hey, why not? Shall we try changing the performance tier or shall we do bursting? Because then you have to ask a question, Mayank. What is your demand for? Half an hour, 1 hour, full day? What is your demand for? Specific days in a week? Then accordingly, our answer also will change. Oh, how much is the size of the disk? Oh no, it's 10 GB disk, but we want super performance. Then sir, stop it. You have to use, then you have to purchase credits, right? Get the credits. Okay, done, sir. So now pricing you want to see, few other things you want to see. Let's hold off here. So now tier is clear. Changing the performance tier. Thank you. I'll go back now. So time to check the disk sizing. So we all know there is something called Azure pricing calculator. Azure pricing calculator. Just go for that. Excuse me. So here we are. Now, please select disks. Disks are not coming up. Just a minute, sir. Manage disks, right? So, okay, sorry if I was fast enough. What I was doing is Azure pricing calculator. It'll ask you to pick the category. First, I typed disks actually, then realized it's not a separate category. It's under storage account only. Opened storage accounts. Now you can choose what type of storage you want. Right now, our requirement is what? Manage disk. If you select manage, so I think some cost got by default added. Manage disks. Now in this, which location you are looking for? For example, I'll put South India. South India. And cost also you can convert into rupees. Where is it in rupees now? Yes, it is in rupees. Done, sir. So have patience. Just a second. Let me erase off everything first. Now blank. Storage accounts. View. I'm adding manage disks. Manage disks. And I'm selecting South India.
Okay, it went to dollars.
Yeah, I'll change it, sir. So I cleared off everything just to be sure. Where is South India? Done. And I'll go down and change the currency, sir. Just a minute. Yeah. Oops. Done. Okay. So now please watch. So if you're going for a managed disk, and let's talk about P series, not standard HDD. I'm talking about
Premium
SSD with LRS, ZRS. I'm keeping LRS only now. So P4 disk, if you go for a P4 disk, one disk will cost you 391 rupees per month. Okay, now so let's change it to
P20.
P20. Okay, sir. And now when P20 is selected, it's 5,000 rupees, 5,400 per month. Okay, sir. One disk. More disks you do, more amount will be added. Okay, now just come down. So in this, now there are a couple of options that you need to be looking at. Bursting is an option, right? Bursting, but bursting you are not seeing. Bursting you are not seeing. Burst option is not available anywhere because bursting is something that you have to do separately. And shared disk concept is different. I'll talk about that later. And snapshot also is different. We'll talk about that later. So disk bursting option, you're not seeing anywhere, right? Now, 1 minute, sir. You are in P20. You are in P20. Nice. And you selected which tier for momentary, sir? You change the performance tier, right? To P50. That then you're going to pay how much?
36,000.
Till that performance tier modification that you have done from 5,000 to 36,000, you have
So it is more than 30,000 we have to pay.
you have to pay more because you have chosen the next next level performance from the
Okay.
disk.
So we have.
So that much performance difference is there now. So, but that is for longer durations you're looking for. No, KD, I'll do bursting for that half an hour, 1 hour only. Then bursting is the best option. Now, bursting cost, if you want to know, we will talk about that, sir, but not right now, because bursting demo I will do, then I will show you the cost. Any questions till now? This is changing tire.
So Deepak, for bursting option also we have cost available, but we have to select from P40, more than P40, I guess.
Will do, sir. Now, first of all, our discussion right now is changing tire.
Okay.
So no, we have option now. I'm just saying for P20, changing performance tire is what we are talking. Any questions still here is what I'm saying. There's a P20 disk, you selected P50 disk, you will pay for that one. That's it. Oh, okay, everyone.
Yeah, KD, can we do the bursting for the OS disk? But it need to be a premium disk with P30 above.
But
right?
normally OS disk, we don't keep 500 GB and above.
Yeah.
So if you keep,
I
we can
think
do burst.
256 is what we keep everybody.
Okay, 1 minute, sir. I just want to show you one more thing about bursting. 1 minute, sir. Yeah. See, so now when it comes to on-demand bursting, right? Cost is variable. Cost will vary. See the billing section of your details. So it's not taking to the pricing section, sir. It is asking you to verify your billing section. So if I open the billing section, it will, yeah, here we go. So again, this also is a discussion that you have to do with the sales teams. So very smartly, they have designed this SLA. Where is it? Okay, now. So look at this one, sir. Premium SSD managed disks using the on-demand bursting model are charged on hourly basis. So if you are doing an bursting per hour, you have to pay per hour. Okay, and there is a flat fee. There's a flat charge for bursting. And transaction costs apply to any burst transactions beyond the target. Meaning, sir, we see how smartly they have designed. So first of all, there is a flat fee. To use bursting, let's say $100. Example, I'm saying. To do bursting, $100 flat fee. Over that, sir, how many transactions you are going to do? If you are doing 15,000 transactions, the charge is different. Suddenly, in the next second, you are doing 25,000 transactions, the charge is different. And then again, you're doing a 2 lakh transaction. For example, load increase, the charge is different. So if you can see here, 0 to 10 seconds, disk IOPS were provisioned target of 5,000 IOPS. And sir, 10 to 10, application issued some bad job, some job they ran, and which has bursted to 6,000 IOPS for how much time, sir? 10 seconds. So they are counting how much ever any number of time. 5,000 was your target. You have touched 6,000 IOPS, sir, but 10 seconds they are counting now. That 10 seconds is counted for 6,000. So they will charge you like that. So this will, so now if you ask me, show me the exact costing of bursting, no, I can't show. Depends on your usage. Very, very intelligent billing model. So we have to be very, very careful here.
So on the bursting as well, when we access it, whatever it is, they charge for that as well. Intelligent.
They will first of all flat fee into how many times you bursted, for how long you bursted, and how much IOPS capacity you crossed, how many transactions you have performed. So it's by any chance, sir, if you, and look at this now. So, and then they finally calculate your total bursting that you have done, and then they'll charge you for that.
Something like Bangalore electricity bill. The load increases, they'll keep on changing the slabs.
Krishna, one doubt in performance increase. Hello?
Yeah. Yes, Nagaraj.
In performance increase, you showed us our disk was 512 GB disk. and you increase the
Performance tire, right?
performance
I'm
yeah.
there. Yes, please.
Yeah, you increase only the performance time, but in Azure Calculator, you are changing the disk from 512 to
Actually, I'm not changing. So I was just showing you like how much is P20 cost.
yeah.
And then I was showing how much is P50 cost. I'm not showing the size actually. We did not change the size. I was just showing the P50 cost. So 30,000 difference I was showing. That's all.
Okay.
So
Here
you
we
are in
cannot
P20.
get.
Yeah.
Here we cannot get the performance difference cost, Krishna.
No, you will get, sir. See, for example, right? You are in see, your nature of disk is how much? P20.
P20.
And your performance tire is also P20. That means you will be charged for P20 only. By any chance, if Nagarjuna goes and modifies the performance tire from P20 to P30, he is getting double performance on IOPS, meaning 2,300 IOPS is becoming 5,000 IOPS. And 150 MB per second, which is default, he is getting now 200 MB per second. So Nagarjuna was paying 5,400 rupees for P20. Okay. Now suddenly he changed the performance tire to P30. So now onwards, Nagarjuna will be paying 10,000, meaning double the cost for that disk from till the time you are in performance tire P30. Once you keep it back, sir, again your billing would be normal. This is one separate billing model. The other one is like a dangerous one. We have to be very, very careful, as rightly said by Veera, right? So we have to be very, very cautious. Usage can kill us sometimes. We never know. You are not even noticing it. So now, which is best? So, or you can do one thing, okay? Normally, you can recommend application team. Let's say this week you do the bursting model. Let's see how much cost will be generated. Because unless and until the load comes, you will not be able to assess. Next week, you can do the performance tire model. Let's see the cost accordingly. And then whichever is cost effective, we can use it. So that, but again, sir, this all is R&D, sir. Don't give false recommendations to our application. False, nahi, unexpected, not unexpected also. I don't know what you say. Please help me with the words. Commitment, sir. Commitment. If you give commitment something and they think something and bill comes out something and you are screwed up finally. So these recommendations, they will ask us in the sense, hey, can you recommend something? Play safe. Tell that these options are available. If you want, we can use them. Try them. So never do it on the prod first. Never do it on the production. Let's test it on the non-prod subscriptions, which will be there. Let's test it there. See how much then you can implement in prod. So now, but all in all, so again, we are stretching the beyond the scratching above the surface. But sir, have you understood at least the basic fundamental thing which I'm trying to tell? What we are discussing now is there are two bursting models. Bursting models are two. One is credit based, other one is on demand. Credit based are for lower size disks. On demand bursting is for the higher size disks, greater than 512 GB, 1 TB, 2 TB, whatever. And then, sir, performance tire changing is always one option that all customers will have. And 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Just watch this. If, for example, this is a standard SSD. For standard SSD, do you have performance tire? No. That's what I was telling. And then even if you go, obviously for HDD, it will not be there. So only for premium SSDs, and that too, wait, sir. I'm in 4 GB. Oops, sorry. I'm in 4 GB. So meaning I am in P1. You still have the option. Got it? So performance tire option is there from the least disk itself. And sir, performance tire also continuously you should not keep. Okay, only when you have demand, you have to keep. So when there is a need. See, read it, sir. I don't know if you can see this. When upgrading the performance tire, you will be billed at the upgraded tire until you return back. So the same thing I told you now. Yeah. Okay, done, sir. So let's not do rubber band more than this. So we'll stop here. So one demo is due from my side now, is showing the bursting demo, which I will do. But sir, for bursting demo, we need application load. Without application load, I can't do a bursting demo. So at least being a database person, yes, we can do that. We can put the load on the disk through database. So my suggestion to all of you is watch the demos. You don't need to do the demo. Performance tier you can do if you would need to. Okay, then sir, we will halt off here. So tomorrow, I see a small challenge. I see a small challenge for tomorrow, but I am not confirming now. Class is there. Class is there. At least for 20 minutes, 30 minutes also we'll finish the class and then I'll jump back. So class is there. No class, no stopping class. Done? Yes? Okay. Before you wrap up the session, sir. If you want to improve your disk performance, total 3 options are there. Lower size disk credit based, higher size disks which are premium in nature. You get on-demand bursting. Only for premium SSDs greater than 512 GB, you have on-demand bursting. And then again for premium tier only, premium disks only, premium SSDs only, you have one more option called changing performance tier. With that, let's stop the class today. Are you good, sir?
Yes, KD.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Can we customize this P50, P70, whatever we have, or it's a default?
Which one, sir? You're referring to
Yeah.
the P81?
Yeah,
P80 you can't change because you're already at the highest peak. If you are at a P70, then you can upgrade up to P80 max. So depending on which option you're selecting, it gives you the options accordingly. So normally what happens, +2, +3 will be available. When you select a tier, right? +2 or +3. I don't know for P50 why they have not given. Oh, okay. It's there. Upgraded tires are not available for this. Okay, so normally +2, +3, sir. 1, 2 tires more, 2, 3 tires more. Option they always will.
Okay.
Okay, done. Then thank you. Let's reconnect tomorrow, sir. We'll talk lab Monday onwards. Pakka. We'll be on track from lab from Monday. Have a fantastic day ahead. Tomorrow we have class at any cost. Even for 15 minutes, we'll connect and we'll discuss. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic.
Can I call for?
Yeah, please, sir. Santosh. And I also want to talk to Mr.
Yeah.
Mr.
Rakesh.
I need to add you to the group. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, KD.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Meet you tomorrow.
Bye.